Hello children, in this video I am going to explain you about the reflex arc. So in the previous video I had explained you many things about reflex action. That is, the automatic, unconscious and involuntary response of effectors to a stimulus is called a reflex action, and it is also called reflexes. Now children, in our body there are so many involuntary actions going on without any control, or your conscious control will not be there. So involuntary actions are there like heartbeat, your lungs expansion and contraction, then intestine movement inside the intestine, or you can say the intestinal wall will have the peristaltic movement. So these all are the involuntary actions or involuntary movement inside your body. But how this involuntary actions are different from the reflex action, because here the involuntary response are to a stimulus or action which is taken even before we realize about the stimulus. Just like when you touch the fire accidentally or any hot thing accidentally, you remove your hand. So reflex actions are controlled by reflex centers present in the medulla of the brain and spinal cord. Now here you can see the fire is the stimulus. So fire is hot, right? So when you touch it accidentally or somehow you are in contact with the fire, what happens? Immediately you remove your hand. There will be the sensory neuron will be there, and that will take the electrical impulses towards the spinal cord. So this is the nerve cell which takes the impulses through the sensory neuron. This is the sensory neuron, and then when it reaches here, then there will be one more neuron, right? Then the information will reach here in the form of electrical impulses. Then from here, what will be the another one, that is this neuron, the middle one. There will be the another neuron which will be coming from here, and then it will reach to the muscles. So here are the biceps. Then when it reaches here, then what will happen? This portion, the biceps will contract, and then your hand will be away from the fire, right? So this is the proper sequence. Now you will think that what it is which is going so far and so long distance it is carrying. It is the sensory neuron. What it is? Now this one is called the sensory neuron, and this is sensory neuron. In one video I have shown you the structure of the sensory neuron, in which this one is in the middle, and there will be the end to end, there will be the axon part, right? So if you remember sensory neuron, I will give you the link of the video at the top, and there you can see that the structure of the sensory neuron. It will be different from the other neurons. Now here comes in the middle, there will be the small neuron, and that is called the relay neuron. The next one which takes this information, or you can say to the motor neuron. This is the motor neuron, because you see it gives the motion to the muscles, right? So the response will be transferred through the motor neuron. And this is the spinal cord. Okay, so here you can see this one is the front portion, and this is the back portion, back side of the spinal cord. Now here this is the relay neuron. They are very short, whereas sensory neuron could be very long, and there will be the motor neuron, right? In the previous videos I have given the structure of motor neuron and sensory neuron. Then when you see both of them, you will find that they both are different from each other structure wise, right? Now here comes the another thing, that is called the reflex arc. Now what is the reflex arc? Basically it is the path through which the stimulus travels from receptor organ to the effector organ. So this here you can see this is called the receptor organ, because it is receiving the information from the environment. So this is called the receptor organ, and the effector organ is the muscles, right? So this is called reflex arc. So basically it is the path through which the reflex action takes place. So this is the path through which it goes, and you can see here, and it reaches to the motor neuron, right? The motor neuron gives the instruction to the muscles. Muscles get contracted, and then the hand will be removed. Now, the common thing, the common pathway, this we are talking about the reflex action, but normal actions that will go to the brain itself. Where it will go? From a spinal cord, it goes to the brain. Here you can see it is traveling very short distance. Why is it so? Because when the information will carry to the brain, it takes too much of time to get processed. Then once it will get processed, then the brain will tell you whether to remove or not, and by that time your hand will get burned. So basically this reflex actions are called the defense mechanism of your body. Defense mechanism. Why? Because it protects our body from the harmful stimulus. Now the pathway of nerve impulses in a reflex arc is heat stimulus, then there will be the thermal receptors in the skin. That means heat stimulus is perceived by thermal receptors in the skin. Thermal means temperature and receptors means the sensory neurons which are present in the skin. Sensory neurons, sensory impulses thus generated are flashed by sensory neuron through sensory nerve fibers to interneurons in the spinal cord. Inside there will be the changes, motor impulses, and passes them to the motor neuron, and from motor neuron motor impulses are passed into the effector through motor nerve fibers, and then muscles will contract and withdraw the hand. So this is about the reflex action and reflex arc.